Yeah, yeah, and like another thing I noticed was like I have my decisions were more or less like what others thought of, like
Hmm.
what people at Reddit thought of, what people at Quora thought of, what my mom and dad thinks of,
Slavery.
and
That's slavery, right?
no decisions from my there
Exactly.
were no decisions from my end, and
Precisely.
maybe that's why like
And that's where the confidence will come
Shrezadi
from.
was mine.
And that's where the confidence will come from. And that's where the planting your 2 feet on the ground and taking a stand and saying, I've decided this, you know. Okay, so for the time being, you say, I've decided this, right? These are my 2 feet on the ground and they're planted and I'm headed in this direction. I've done some things in my life already. I've encountered people you've never dreamt of. I've learned things that you don't know about, and I'm on my own. I'm traveling in my own land, and so yeah, part of it. And if your parents, your mother will be happy if she sees you happy. That's the sweetest, nicest, kindest thing you could possibly do for your parents, is to be happy and healthy. I mean, that's their dream, right? And so, but yeah, you do have to individuate. You do have to stand on your own 2 feet. You can't rely on your dad. You can't rely on your mom. You can't rely on your teachers or books or ideas or philosophies or ideology. This is something else. And this is your responsibility and your responsibility only. Nobody can do it for you. And be grateful, because this is like your first test, right? You've been given a lot, but you've never been tested. Now that you've got a very difficult test, how are you going to do this now? Because you got along by going along with the program, right?
Yeah,
And there was a program for you, but now the program's run out, and now you're on your own. And who knows what's going to happen next in tech or in the world? And that's what makes this life fun and interesting, right? You were bored. You get bored to death, and that's why people retreat to video games, is because their lives suck, right? But who wants to sucky life? So the first thing is acknowledging, hey, I better change this a bit, right? Change the direction. Because even if you, okay, so look, if we call this 1,000 miles, right? See this line? If you're off by 1 degree or 2 degrees, I do a crummy line, but you know, 1,000 miles later, you're off by hundreds of miles, right? You're not even in the right place. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I would take every step you need to take, like applications and essays, or I don't know what the process is, but none of this is an excuse to say, well, I'm involved in a higher path, so I don't need to, you know, do the hard work of going to interviews or writing essays or researching the companies that I want to work with, or the industries, or the you know, profession, whatever. So yeah, this is a man's job, right? A grown man's job, and
have
that's
I
where you're
truly
at. So,
decided?
hmm?
But have I truly decided when you said when
No, you don't. No, you have not decided, and I'm not. No one's asking you to decide yet. What's happening, what I'm seeing, is that there's the fact that you actually contemplated death. Like, did you get into an argument with a shopkeeper?
so
Did you get into an argument with a shopkeeper or anything like that?
no,
Okay, so it's just the fact that you were willing to contemplate the death thing means that part of you is sincere. Part of you is serious, right? Part of you is responding to this, right? Now that's the active part. And what you'll come to learn is that these exercises are not just frivolous things just for the hell of it. They're actually part of a very, very sophisticated and comprehensive developmental program, right? And so it's early yet, but it's sincerity and sobriety, you know, in terms of just like not being drunk on video games or drunk on booze or on marijuana or whatever. And it's sincerity, sobriety. You've got the intelligence, you've got the background, and it will evolve and unfold and take care of itself if you continue to be have those qualities. But if you don't cultivate those qualities of being a grown man, then definitely you will regress, and you'll live like the majority of humanity, grateful for any escape they can get, anything, right? So that's why I feel encouraged, and I'm not really speaking to your ego so much, and the words that I'm saying are nothing compared to what the communication I'm trying to make heart to heart, right? And that doesn't occur at this level, and so it doesn't matter what the words are. I could be talking about the designs on the carpet or whatever, but love is all there is in reality. Now we're living in a mental, virtual reality that's like unspeakably reduced in its whole, everything about it. And you'll have glimmers of this, and then someday, God willing, you'll walk in this place of peace that's beyond words, and love that's beyond description, or beauty that's beyond description. It's up to you and you only. And frankly, the I part is just kind of in the way, right? So if you're letting your ego decide or your mind decide and not your heart, I think that's probably an error, but I don't know how that translates to you. So there's a saying, and we'll stop with this. And it's Don Juan, the student of Don Gennaro and the teacher of Castaneda. It's something like, when you come to a decision in your life, follow the path with heart. I think that's put as well as anybody. All right, so these Mexican men of knowledge, I think, put it as well as it can be put. If there's a decision, follow the path with heart. And there's more to it, and and actually somebody lifted that and made a book out of it, but that's not what that's buried in the in that series of that Don Juan sponsored. So I wouldn't bore you so much about the I deciding yet. The I is for looking up to the phone numbers and names and networking and thinking about, well, what does this pay and what does that pay and what does the future look like for this industry? I wouldn't recommend going into things that the AIs are going to be able to do 1,000 times better, faster, and cheaper. So the I is for those kinds of things, but for the important questions, don't rely on the I. It's the heart. And of course, you know what I'm saying. The heart's not here. It's actually not even there. So, but you get the gist.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Let's go.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that I actually reduced a lot of weight. Now I'm below 100, and I've been doing this consistently for
What now? What
3
happened?
to 4 weeks.
Say it again.
My weight has reduced from 100 kilos for the first time in 2 to 3 years because I've been doing consistently.
See what I mean? Right? So that's fantastic, man. That's congratulations. That's wonderful. That's huge. Just keep going. And don't you feel better? And so you've been living in a nightmare, even though you felt like you were gratifying something, and you were temporarily with the video games and stuff like that. But as you emerge from that nightmare and you realize, hey, I can not only be happy, I can be joyful, and not just today, but for the rest of my life, right? And it's a whole lifestyle, and but it doesn't require adopting, wearing a special jacket or wearing a special cap or joining a club or anything like that. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure that those things are helpful, but it's one man with his feet on the ground, facing reality and realizing, hey, I got to do something about, I don't know, let's see, I got to do something about, well, Back in the old days, people worried because they didn't weigh enough, right? You were a skinny, 98-pound weakling. So everybody was trying to put on weight, right? So if it's not one thing, it's another, right? So back then you couldn't be too white. Now you can't be too black, right? And so and pretty soon you can't be too Indian, or you can't be, too whatever. Man is so silly and fickle, and just none of that matters. Like right now, the total preoccupation with race is completely a mental fabrication of the human mind. I promise you, there's no race in the kingdom of heaven. There's no race. Now, people may be different colors, but that doesn't mean anything, obviously, right? So there's so many things like this that are just completely made up things, and you don't need that. You don't need them dragging you down for your whole life if you can avoid it. And so I don't know. That's not for me to decide. It's for you to decide. But if you take one positive step towards losing weight like you did, that's amazing. And then this other one, contemplating death, that's incredible. And you don't know it yet, but when you look back, you're going to go, oh yeah, of course I needed to do that, right? And so is life, right? And what I pray for everyone on this planet is that when you get to be an old man like me, you can say, this beautiful human life, this wonderful human life in which so much was given to us, I didn't waste all of it. Do you know what I'm saying? I had enough sense in my head to realize that, wait a minute, that maybe things are a little bit more mysterious than what I thought, right? That's the best I can articulate it, okay? But if you're losing weight and afraid of death, I say, man, boom, that's progress. Believe it or not, this is a different kind of thing. And now you got to struggle on, what do I want to do? And you've got enough sense to at least ask the question, right? And don't just ask me, ask everybody. Do anything you can. This is very, very serious, because the trajectory you just take could have ramifications, big ones, 20 years from now, 40 years from now. Do you see what I'm saying? So do it thoughtfully, and do it with love in your heart and compassion for yourself and for others, which is what compassion means, right? In English, we have compassion for others, but for example, in Tibetan, there's no such thing as compassion for the other without compassion for the self, because they're the same thing, okay, which is a basic teaching of Jesus, a basic teaching of Krishna, a basic teaching of the Buddha, and basic teaching of I can't find a tradition that doesn't have that teaching. The kingdom of God is within you. The real world is not this world. This world is Maya. This world is made by the mind of man. And the mind of man is a paltry thing, but our hearts we've got hearts too. And this is not to belittle the mind. It's a useful instrument, but that's all it is an instrument. And pretty soon we're going to learn that our minds aren't that so hot, because the AI can think, remember, retrieve, and solve problems 1,000 times better than we can with our little piece of meat here, right? But this is not all there is to us. There's something else, and that's what's referred to as the capacities that are hidden in man, that we've covered over, that every spiritual teacher has been trying to direct us towards since the beginning of time, as far as I can tell. Okay, sir? Congratulate, 100 kilograms, man. That's huge. Bravo. And keep thinking and save up your questions. And I don't know if but I answer questions from time to time on YouTube from other folks. And so if you want to, that's another resource. And then there's also transcripts. Right? And it's getting to where you could almost look up certain things like, what does Dharma mean? Or what does this mean? Or whatever. It's not there yet, but I offer it as another resource. But mainly I direct you to other thinkers and teachers more advanced than me, right? Okay? All right, sir. Good. Take care.